Welcome to the buymeacoffee.com/James Poartistry, the coffee tips page that supports my James Poartistry creative productions and work. See also jamespoartistry.online. Hello, perceptive reader. This is James, and this is a James Poartistry consultant moment. And I want you to know beforehand, I know I've been doing this here a lot lately, that I will actually express my opinion that's based on experience. And of course, that experience still has facts and is rooted also in spiritual and business ethical principles. So I want this to be brief, like within 8 minutes. Okay, so let me go ahead and make some of these statements right now. The first one happens to be God has given us an ability to rule ourselves. Okay, now with that statement being said, he still has given us this understanding that even though we can follow instructions, and which we can build houses, buildings, and also make sure everybody has enough to eat. Here is the point, though. He still didn't. Basically, it's like energy from a source. Still, as humans, the way that we're made up, without that connection to him, though, to keep renewing, you see, who we are, what happens when the energy starts going down in any item? See, it stops working correctly. Well, that's the same thing with humans. So, yeah, we can be going about our business for a little while or what have you, but eventually, without our constantly refreshing ourselves, and especially in this case, our mind and mental outlook, then all the progress that we've made will fall apart. And so let me tell you what the experience has shown me that really makes these statements true, which are based on God's word, the Bible as well, is I've observed persons that, sometimes people will say, oh, this individual can't do this, or this individual can't do that, or this. I'm sure you've seen it. Maybe you've experienced the same, and hopefully you haven't said that too much to too many people, unless you really realize that this person this person just doesn't really have the right teachings or the accurate knowledge to do this or that. Well, with that being said, sometimes again, with our own opinion and lack of knowledge, the person actually does have the experience. The person does have enough wherewithal to still do exactly what the person was setting out to do. And that's just the fact of the matter. It's just that, as you know, you don't always know the background of everybody's life. And so we still just let people go about their business. And you find out all the time throughout your life that persons may have an interest and capabilities or aptitude to do certain things that you never thought that they could do or would be able to do. And yet they can do it, and they do it at a competent level, if not on the expert or master's level. So with that being said, since we can't read minds or hearts, you'll run into a person at times and you'll see this skill, this craft, or what have you. And you'll come to find out that the person never interviewed for this or that, and yet they are able to accomplish whatever it is. Now, what we try to do as humans, and this is what you see from how God, wants us to be able to follow instructions, and that we can run the world, you see, to take care of everything, but he doesn't want us to do it without him. You see what I'm saying? By the way that he made us up, because of what happens to us mentally and spiritually, then I'm here to tell you today, again, there are a lot of people, and it may look like they're not able to run corporations and things of that nature. And guess what? They can. They can. And just because they have the ability to do it, then it doesn't mean that they think they're even better than you. You see what I'm saying? It doesn't mean that at all. And the point is, yeah, it may require some, some knuckling down, as as people say, or really a focused concentration in this area or that area. But you know what? It doesn't mean that they are prideful, because they still say straight up, yeah, I can do that. And it's just a matter of fact, as that's why I like to use examples of people on farms. When you see the level that a farmer will go to from a basic just 4 rows of crops to getting that down pat, to then understanding, okay, what does this situation cause for this or that? Okay, if the situation doesn't cause for anything more, then you know what? They'll continue to be proficient and work expertly on just their microcosm of what the world can be. And it'll be beautiful and things of that nature. So the whole point is they already have a foundation for what they know how to do, you see, and they do it. And see, God gave them that. And it can actually branch out. So what I'm here to tell you today in emphasis is that a lot of people have the capability to not only manage something on a small level, but they have the capability to manage a lot of stuff on a large level as well. And just because they say they can do it, it has nothing to do with pride. It has nothing to do with not giving credit to the grand creator, because it's the grand creator that has made all of us in this way in the first place. And that's one of the reasons why I shared with you about the master classes. When you look at those persons that I put in a recent post about a master class, why people take them, every single one of those individuals, when you look at their skills and their crafts, from even poetry to music to comedy to cooking, you may, some of you, many of you would say right now, like, Red Day, man, that'll take me another 20 years to be able to play like that, to cook like that, to do this, or to write like that. And guess what? Yeah, they got more than 20 years experience, you see, and that's why they're masters in the first place. So what I'm here to tell you is the way that these persons still teach at times, you see what I'm saying? Since they've already gone through and gathered all this experience, if you really concentrate and if you really focus, you will find yourself at times still being on a very expert level because of their own experience, and it hasn't even been 20 years left. So what does that go to show? Well, that's the same thing God has allowed mankind and humankind to do when it comes to farming, when it comes to building. You see what I'm saying? When it comes to actually erecting these great structures and all of that, and to feed the world, and all of us to be in abundance. See, we got that ability. Yet, in order to keep all of these physical structures maintained, we need a constant refreshing spiritually of our minds, our hearts and minds, so that our hearts and minds don't get out of whack. That, eventually, like I told you, start doing other projections and turn down people. People can be teared down mentally, emotionally, and spiritually because of actually not having the renewing of the spirit, so to speak. So as long as the renewing of the spirit continues, you see, which adjusts our hearts and our minds to keep them ethically sound, spiritually sound, guess what? Our other abilities in all these other areas will continue. So I said I was going to talk for about 8 minutes. Well, it's going on 10 minutes. Thank you all the same. Have a very wonderful day, Perceptive Reader.